Today, we live in a world that's both digital and physical, and everything is so interconnected that most of us don't know the full picture of our supply chains. So how safe our world tomorrow will be depends on the choices we make today. In this series, we'll be talking to experts who will give us insights on how you can do your part. What are the biggest problems that you think organizations are having when it comes to securing their supply chains?
Like it's built upon trust, right? So
Yeah.
you're trusting someone else,
Yes.
and then, I mean, to me at least, it feels a little bit philosophical to ask, like, what is the correct way of trusting someone? Like, naturally, you can have contracts with certain obligations, for example, in terms of security,
Yes.
and then if those are violated, but those are, in some cases they could work, but for example, if you're a smaller company and dealing with a bigger service provider, it can be really hard to
Yes.
negotiate a contract with
And for
some kind of
instance, if you don't
penalties.
have your own procurement team who's really handling this,
absolutely.
and you have so many of this, and they can become so convoluted for organizations. Do you have some tips or some ideas or some practices that you have observed
Yeah.
that organizations have sort of like gotten a handle
Yeah.
on some of this?
Yeah, I think there's many things that can be done. First of all, the visibility part is super important. So knowing what you have, and I know this is like a repeated thing, like just like having inventory of your assets, knowing what you run, knowing the kind of things you depend on, especially for anything that handles sensitive data or
Yeah.
mission critical operations. Those should be always like, you should be
Well, you can't protect what you
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we have vulnerability somewhere, but we don't really know if we are actually using this software and where we
That's
are
true.
using it.
Well, it doesn't sound too hard, but an organization would really need to do something to change some of their processes in order to gain bigger visibility.
But it really depends on what kind of infrastructure your company is built
Okay.
on, and what kind of servers you're using, and how much kind of like extra stuff do you need to build on top.
Would you suggest modernizing as well for organizations so that they can get easy access to some of these logging capabilities?
Absolutely, and not only for that, but for security as well. So we know that legacy software and legacy practices and things like these, they lead to compromises much often than using modern technology. So I think there's many reasons why try to at least modernize technology stack within a company.